When you look at me, you may think my stillness is emptiness, that my silence means I carry no fire inside. But listen closely, because what you mistake for quiet is a storm held in perfect order. Calm is not the absence of power. Calm is power that has learned to obey. It is the blade that remains in its sheath while others swing wildly in the air, cutting nothing but their own strength away. I learned early that the world is loud not because it is strong but because it is afraid. Fear shouts, doubt argues. Weakness demands to be seen, but strength waits, strength watches, strength chooses its moment. There were mornings when the wind cut through my clothes like an enemy's hand, and nights when hunger whispered louder than any battle cry. In those moments I could have cursed the cold, cursed the path, cursed the pain. But I learned that every reaction is a surrender. The moment you let the world pull a sound from your mouth or a tremor from your hands, you have given it a piece of your control. So I stood still. I breathed slowly. I felt the storm inside me rise, and instead of letting it explode, I shaped it. Like a river guided by stone, not allowed to flood and destroy, but directed to carve a path through mountains. You live in a world that rushes you. It tells you to answer immediately, to feel everything deeply and show it openly, to react as proof that you are alive. But I tell you this, the one who reacts is always behind. The one who stays calm is already ahead. When you keep your breath steady while another loses theirs, you see what they cannot, you hear what they miss. You feel the space between moments where true decisions are made. That space is the battlefield of the mind, and if you can stand there without trembling, you have already won more than half of any fight you will ever face. I did not train my body first, I trained my stillness. I trained my gaze to remain soft when anger tried to harden it. I trained my hands to remain open when fear tried to turn them into fists. You think strength is in tightening and clenching and pushing harder every time something pushes back, but real strength is in not being moved at all. Imagine a mountain arguing with the wind. It does not shout, it does not chase the storm away. It simply stands, and in time the storm passes. Be that mountain. There were men who came to test me, their voices sharp, their pride louder than their footsteps. They wanted a reaction because reaction is proof that they have reached you. I gave them nothing. I watched their shoulders rise with anger, their breathing grow uneven, their thoughts stumble over themselves. And in their chaos I found clarity. Calm is not passive, calm is active awareness. It is the eye that sees every shift in the opponent's weight, every hesitation in their intent, every crack in their confidence. When you are calm, you do not fight the world, you read it. You will face days when everything inside you wants to speak, to complain, to demand fairness, to explain why your path is harder than someone else. I faced those days too. The difference is not that I did not feel those urges. The difference is that I did not obey them. Feelings are like wild horses. If you let them run, they will carry you wherever they please. If you train them, they will carry you where you decide. Calm is the training ground where those wild forces learn discipline. I remember standing alone, the sound of my own breath louder than the world around me. In that quiet, I discovered something most people never meet: myself without distraction. No praise, no criticism, no noise to hide behind, just the truth of who I was in that moment. It was uncomfortable, it was honest, and it was necessary. If you cannot sit with your own thoughts without reaching for noise, you will never command them when the world grows loud. Do not mistake calm for softness. The calmest water can hide the deepest current. The quietest man can carry the strongest will. When you walk into a room without announcing yourself, when you listen instead of interrupting, when you pause instead of rushing to prove, you create a presence that cannot be measured but is always felt. People sense it. They do not know why, but they feel it. It is the presence of someone who is not seeking approval, not chasing attention, not begging for recognition. It is the presence of someone who is complete within himself. There will be moments when you are tested, when insult comes, when pressure rises, when failure stares you in the face and dares you to break. In those moments, the world will lean in, waiting for your reaction. Give it stillness. Let your silence be your answer. Let your steady breath be your shield. Inside that calm, you will find space to choose your next move, not from anger, not from fear, but from clarity. And clarity is sharper than any blade. I am not telling you to become cold, I am telling you to become centered. Feel deeply, but do not let feelings drive. Care fully, but do not let care weaken your stance. Passion is fire, and fire is powerful, but without a hearth it burns the house down. Calm is the hearth, it holds the fire, it gives it purpose. It turns wild energy into steady warmth and focused light. When you walk your path tomorrow, walk it slowly, even if the world runs past you. Let your steps be measured. Let your eyes be open. Let your mind be quiet enough to hear what others miss. In that quiet, you will find the truth of every situation, the weakness in every obstacle, and the strength in yourself. And when the moment comes that demands action, you will not rush. You will not hesitate. You will move with the certainty of someone who has already decided long before the world realized a decision was needed. Stand still, breathe deep, and let the world move around you. You must learn to walk through noise without letting it enter your bones. The world will always try to pull you in 100 directions at once, offering opinions, temptations, and shortcuts that promise comfort instead of growth. I learned to treat these distractions like shadows on the road, visible but without substance. When your eyes chase every movement, you lose sight of the path beneath your feet. So I trained my focus to be narrow and deep. like a blade aimed at a single point. There were days when the easier choice called to me, when rest felt sweeter than effort and silence felt heavier than words. In those moments, I reminded myself that every small decision is a vote for the person I will become. If I choose comfort now, I choose weakness later. If I choose discipline now, I build strength that no storm can take from me. Focus is not about forcing your mind, it is about clearing space for what truly matters. When you let go of the unnecessary, what remains becomes powerful, sharp, and unbreakable. Choose your path with intention and walk it without looking back.